Hello, you're listening to Questboard, a podcast where we make up random side quests. My name is Brandon.
And I'm Tiffany. And just so you know, we are not professional writers in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, at least we don't claim to be. We just really like tabletop RPGs, and we do this for fun.
That's right. How are you, Tiff?
I'm actually really excited. I just got a new TTRPG in the mail.
Oh my god, something we both spend too much money on.
Yeah.
We're continuing the endless cycle.
I mean, they're fun.
Yes, we make a podcast about it.
Exactly.
Well, not about the variety of things, but
No. And I haven't read too much into it yet, so forgive me if I don't know everything about this one yet. But I helped kickstart Daggerheart, the new TTRPG from Critical Role.
Yeah, I was about to say, isn't that from the Critical Role thing?
They wrote their own RPG system.
That was in response to the OGL incident.
I believe, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm super excited to really dig into it and really learn about it because it looks like they put a lot of attention to detail into this. Like, the book has, everything you would expect from a really in-depth system like this. And what I find interesting is I only read a little bit at the beginning. I need to read more. But it looks like the players will roll what they call, I forgot what they called them, like fate dice, which is 2d12s, and they actually give them to you.
If you could roll your feet. Sorry, that's all I was thinking about.
They give you 2d12s that are actually differently shaped than your average d12, which I thought was a neat touch. But one is your hope die, and the other is your fear die. And so you roll those together, and that determines your rolls. Whereas the game master in that uses a d20. But they did include with the set, because I got like this really epic box with it. It includes a full set of polyhedral dice plus the 2 extra d12s. And they're pretty. But they give you cards to like hand out, so everyone has these card references for their characters, which I think is really neat because you always have that quick reference for like every little aspect about your character. And like they give you everything. It's so nice. But the box is super cool. It like opens up and it's like, oh, it's just really pretty.
That's cool. I don't know if we'll ever play it.
Yeah, I'm always impressed when a box has a drawer. So that's the part I was just like, what?
You are very easily impressed.
Yes, it doesn't take much, but I am impressed.
Well, I'm glad you're impressed by the box.
And I'm excited for a new system to, futz around with, see how it works out.
Well, you'll have to let me know outside of the podcast of any new interesting mechanics.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it.
And maybe maybe our next campaign will be in that.
Yeah, who knows?
I don't know.
We'll keep you updated.
We don't even know.
Nope.
We never like planning that far ahead.
The future's for the future me.
Sure.
Future Tiff really hates past Tiff. I put too many things off.
You're a major procrastinator like me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyways, I guess, is that it for any updates?
I mean, like I said, I haven't looked fully into it yet, so I don't know.
Well, I'm also talking about just our beginner banter.
Well, I mean, yeah.
It's kind of short for this week.
Yeah. I got a new thing. I'm excited about it. It's shiny. It came in a cool box. It is shiny, by the way. The cards have gold leaf on the edges.
Ooh, fancy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess, if you actually have it, let us know down in the comments, I guess, or just let us know.
Yeah, let me know if you helped kickstart it, too. I want to know how many people, helped with this.
Or at least let me know about any big changes before Tiffany lets me know. Because I think it'll be a while for her to tell me.
Yeah.
But I guess then we'll just make our usual quest.
Let's do it.
You got dice?
Oh, I got them. 46.
46. We've already done that.
Aw.
That was episode 28. Cleric needed, daughter ill and dying. That was All Is Not Frost. Remember that? That was one of our favorite ones because it was combining Tremors and Balto.
Yeah, that was fun.
Anyways, you want to go up or down?
Let's go up.
Okay, you saved me a lot of trouble. Because the next available one is 48.
Okay.
So 47 was our missing episode.
Oh, yeah.
Where it was like looking for a kobold. Sorry, there's no episode associated with that because it was lost due to bad recording.
Yeah, it was so bad. I tried listening to it and picking it apart, but it is
I remember what we did, though.
so messed up. I don't.
Of course you don't. Anyways, what we're doing today is multilinguist needed. While going through my pappy's attic, I found this really old map that I'm pretty sure leads to something cool. The problem is, I can't read it. Pretty sure it's Celestial, Draconian, or Elvish because the letters are all curly. If the map leads to something sweet, some sweet treasure, I'll share it fairly with you. You do all the work, and I'll get my fair share.
It's his map.
You think any party's gonna be like, yeah,
or her,
fine.
Actually, it's this person.
Also,
map.
We just did a treasure hunt last episode.
I mean, what is D&D if not constant treasure hunts?
One, I've talked about how it's hard to come up with treasure hunts.
Yeah, it is.
On the spot as an improv podcast. And two, it's just really ironic that we decided to do that last episode and then you rolled this.
I don't control the dice. They do as they will.
Okay, so are we good to... We have to do something unique.
Yeah.
So it doesn't even have to be a treasure.
No.
We could have this lead to something else.
Like what? Like another plane?
Maybe. Well, like the celestial kind of makes me think of like, what happens if this is like, oh, technically celestials aren't like angels,
right,
like from heaven. But what happens if this is a map that just, this is a way to get up to heaven?
So he can go visit it, or they. I'm going to give this person a name.
The party can
give
visit.
them a gender.
Oh, yeah, fine. Who's the owner of the map?
Okay, I found a really generic name on my list. Guy Stewart.
Okay, he's like a farmer. Actually, he's just my pappy, so it's like a guy
pappy.
would use that term.
My pappy said.
Yeah.
This is Guy.
I'm not your guy, buddy.
I'm not your buddy, pal.
You don't even watch South Park.
Nope.
So it made me think of like, oh, what happens if it's just like a map to get into heaven? But then again, celestial, it's not really, that's not a thing in the D&D world.
So it could be a map to the celestial plane, and that could be a really great way to like lead your party there. Be like, hey, here's how you get to the next area. You guys need to do something there, don't you?
Actually, do you want to do something silly?
Always.
Okay. I saw Draconian. What I thought was for Draconian is they live a long time, it's dragons and all that stuff.
Right.
What happens if this is just an old map that just leads to where all the good beer or alcohol it could be, they could get? Yeah. It's just like a beer run map.
Oh.
Like, like a bar hopping kind of thing. What happens if it's that, where it's just like,
but they don't
this is an old ancient, like, bar hopping trail that's like, hey, if you survive, you have to have at least 2 drinks at each location. If you make it to the end, you're on the list of like the top people who survived the run. Those kind of.
Yeah.
What happens if it's just that?
But they don't realize it's that.
No.
So it's just listing off all these bars, and they go visit the bar, and they're like, interesting. Why are we here? Might as well get a drink.
Yeah, it's like alcohol around. God, why are we even doing this when you don't drink? What happens if it's just like different alcohol, like from different races or different kingdoms,
different racial alcohols.
So like the dwarvish
regional
ones are super strong and all that stuff. And it's like what's that one park at I think Disney World where it's like around the world, where each section it's a giant loop and it's like different countries around the world.
Talking about Epcot?
Thank you, Epcot.
Yeah,
it's like that, but it's just a beer run. Which I think at Epcot you could have different alcohols in each country.
Oh, that's fun. I think I've been to Epcot, but I was very small and didn't appreciate it.
I was underage. I couldn't do it.
I mean, I wouldn't have been able to drink then.
Or now.
I mean, I can drink now. I just choose not to.
No, I don't think you can even now.
Yeah, the smell's too much. I can't even get it close to my face.
Anyways, do you want to do something like that? We could change it up a bit and be just like as silly.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to do that idea, go for it.
I'm good with that. I mean,
no, I'm talking to viewers about like,
you're talking.
Hey, we might go in a different direction. If you like this idea, just go with that, and then you could still listen to us, please.
Any random crap that we spew out, you guys can totally use.
What is something along those lines? Because it could be easily as silly and as innocent and not really treasure. I don't know what.
When
the
you
term is.
initially talked about how dragons live for a really long time, it could actually be a treasure map that a dragon made when they were really little. So it leads you to their treasure, and at the time it was big treasure to them, but really it's just like a bunch of sticks or something that they thought were really cool, like, gun-shaped sticks or sword-shaped sticks.
I mean, the silence is deafening in this room.
No.
It reminds me of what was it? The Pirates of the Caravan, where it was those kids.
Yeah.
And then like they were playing pirate, and then all the treasure was just all toy things and all that stuff.
Similar concept.
You just made me think of that.
But maybe there's like one or two things thrown in that ends up being like a wand or a staff that they thought was a cool looking stick, but is actually something neat.
Okay, so one, you're going for more of a serious tone, obviously. And two,
I wouldn't call it serious.
well, it's serious up until the rug is pulled.
Gotcha. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, the bar run is similar.
Yeah.
On the rug is pulled.
The rug just gets pulled sooner.
You always, it's always funny because over the years that we've been doing this, you would always like, oh yeah, it'll be a silly reward, it'll be this, but let's actually slip in something actually to give the players. Well, I'm always like, if it's gonna be a silly thing and the rug is pulled under them, give them nothing because it's a huge rug pull in.
I know.
You never go full rug pull.
I like giving reward for
you give a
deeds done.
half pull and you don't commit. I'm just saying. I just realized like you have this habit.
That is true. I like actually giving rewards, even if it was a silly quest to begin with. But if they look hard enough, or if they pay close enough attention, there is actual reward to be found.
And I believe it doesn't. They don't have to get a reward. It's them playing the game and having fun. And maybe I'll give them a level up.
Okay, that's true. It could just be cool sticks. Who doesn't want a cool stick?
I just had that sudden realization of one of your habits.
It is a habit. I always like to give an actual reward. It's not always what it seems with me. Like if you look hard enough, there's something shiny.
Okay. Still on the stupid side and even more of a rug pull.
Oh my.
If it goes elvish,
what
happens if it's just like, you know how an elf is considered like a kid until like 150 or something like that?
Yeah.
What happens if these are teenagers? So it's
Okay.
like 140,
Okay.
or whatever. Basically did a red herring wild goose chase treasure maps just to laugh at humans.
Oh, and they find the end. They're like, oh my gosh, you actually followed that?
No, it just leads to a bunch of crap that means nothing.
Okay.
And then it's just for them to laugh at them. There's no reward. There's nothing like that.
You could do that.
Not much to add, I know.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
It's like, are they going to actually show up at the end and laugh at the characters? Or are they going to be none the wiser because they just left it to do whatever?
What happens if they live in the town that they start in?
The elves live there?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
why would they?
They come back to complain to Guy because I assume Guy doesn't go with them because it's too dangerous or something like that.
He seemed to sound like he. It just says if the map leads to some sweet treasure, I'll share it fairly with you. So, yeah, maybe he just lets them take it. But that's just like that's dangerous. They could take it and run off.
Yeah, that's also one of the problems is like the party's isn't a full trustworthy people.
I know. Maybe he makes them sign some sort of
blood pact
or contract that's magically bound or something that makes them come back. Because yeah, that's trusting them with a lot.
Okay, we'll do something else.
I feel like Guy would have to go with them. And then they have to protect Guy.
I think, okay, we need to think of something that actually requires us to put more detail and, like, not just say, hey, it's this, done. You know what I mean? Maybe we should come up with something else.
Maybe it is a magic map and slowly reveals things. Isn't that what we did last time?
Yes.
Okay,
I was about to tell you. You're
No,
going
I'm like, wait,
same.
no, this is feeling familiar. Okay. All right.
It
so
only takes a week difference for you to remember.
Map. I mean, it was a good idea then. It could be a good idea now.
Okay, maybe should we go a little bit more serious and not like completely serious, but a little bit more serious?
Okay.
Because usually the more serious it is, the more details that requires us to come up with something.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just don't know what. we don't have to make it celestial, draconian, or elvish.
I was just
It's
thinking
just like anything that looks curly.
it could be giant runes. Those are kind of curly.
No, I imagine those to be rigid.
No,
Like,
they're actually kind of curly. I was just looking at them the other day because I'm currently playing a character that has the rune shaper background, which gives you the rune carver feat, or is it rune carver background that gives you the rune shaper feat? I don't remember. But you deal with giant runes, so I was looking them up to see what they look like, and they're a little curly.
is that the official?
Yes.
Or
From the book.
okay? Because whenever someone says, "Oh, I looked up," you don't have to look it up.
I was gonna show you.
I just know that if when people say, "Oh, I looked up," I'm like, "Did you look up fan art or like someone else?" Like, it makes it hard to like know which one's Coco canon. You
Yeah,
know
no,
what
I made sure it was an actual picture of it from the book.
Okay, if we do giant, then what?
Well, each rune means one word, and there's like
Well, that I'm saying, what does the map lead to if it's in giant?
gotcha.
We're not coming up with what the runes say or anything like that.
Right. It could
That
lead
is way
to
too much.
an ancient giant settlement that has been abandoned for a very long time.
And what?
And if anyone's interested in studying the giants,
You think the party actually cares about that?
no. I don't know. I don't actually know that much about giants.
I don't either. I never actually looked them up. Maybe they'll appear on Monster Spotlight.
Hmm.
Then we'll actually know.
There's different kinds of giants.
I know. But at least we'll learn something about them.
True.
If we do giant, then all I'm thinking about is like, what happens if the map just leads to a giant beanstalk? That's all I'm thinking of.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Is it too on the nose though?
Little bit. It's kind of fun to throw at your party though and have them be like, oh, hey, I recognize this. We're supposed to climb it. Joke's on them. It's just a beanstalk. They weren't supposed to climb it. There's nothing at the top.
Now we're back on the rod pole.
I know. What they were supposed to do was dig underneath it. There's a cave system down there, and that's where the fun stuff.
But then again, why would no one knows a giant beanstalk?
Magic?
Answer for everything.
Yeah. Really, really good illusion spell. No one knows it's there. It's like right in the middle of a town.
Okay, how about this?
Hmm?
We're going back to Celestial.
Okay.
What if this map is and sorry, going back to the original Celestial idea, but slightly different. What happens if this map is basically a battle plans of how they infiltrate like the 9 hells or something like that?
Oh.
And so then they follow it and then they just end up in the 9 hells and like in the middle of an army like campment where they're like, oh, wrong room.
Sorry. Didn't mean to
And then they
step on your toes there.
and then they get caught up in a war between celestials and devils or demons or whatever.
If they really get involved accidentally following the map, end up on the wrong side, like do a couple of things to make one side or the other think they're siding with them or against them.
Yeah, it's basically, what was it? It was the movie like with Jackie Chan, Accidental Spy, where he was mistaken as someone a part of an organization, and then he just got tied up into it, and then he solves it at the end of the movie, kind of thing.
Of course. Classic Jackie Chan.
Yeah, with a bunch of martial arts in between.
Of course. Necessary.
Actually, you could do this about like with Draconian or Elvish.
Yeah.
Actually, ooh, we could tie in. I just suddenly thought.
What's up?
The D&D Adventures.
Okay.
Do you remember that episode?
Vaguely.
Party Adventures?
Oh, yeah.
It's the Jackie Chan Adventures playoff. We came up with 2 competing Draconian secret societies.
Prismatic versus...
Chromatic versus metallic.
That one, yeah.
And they were fighting for the talismans and all that stuff.
Right.
What happens if we put this in the same universe as that?
Okay.
And then this is Draconic, where it's a infiltration, or this could lead to one of the other talismans that they're looking for, and this is an old map that got lost.
Gotcha.
In which, or they were hiding away so that the chromatics don't find it.
Right.
And so then, if they found the talisman of one of the 12 that had those abilities, then they get tied up in this war, and then it's basically like that episode.
Yeah, that could work. So it leads to like some sort of underground cave system where the talisman was hidden or is still hidden.
I think a great way to get the players involved in this secret war is when they arrive there or they get there. That's when the other group gets there as well, kind of thing.
And misunderstandings happen and
has to fight them, and that's how they get introduced to the, let's say, the chromatic dragonborns.
Okay.
because those are the bad ones, obviously.
Yeah.
And so then that's how they get sucked in.
Yeah, I could do it.
Or if you did the party starter for the original one and they're already a part of it, then they just find basically a map to another one that they're looking for anyways.
Right.
And then they meet up with the other organization anyways, and that's how they fight. That'll be the boss fight in the final room kind of thing.
I just think it'd be amusing if, like, they show up there, the chromatic guys show up there, they take out the chromatic guys, but then the metallic guys show up, and the party is just like, oh no, not more. But the metallic guys end up taking them prisoner, and they're like, we have no idea what these guys are doing here, but they did take out the chromatic guys, so yeah.
Or when you see that they're almost dead, then the metallic moves in, attacks them.
Gotcha.
And so then it's a sign for a place like, oh, they were hostile to me, but then they hostile to them. So they're not hostile to me, kind of like, so it doesn't get them to automatically attack him or start questioning things.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yes. And then they'll see that you two were attacking. So then they're questionable about you for the same reason.
Right.
And so that justifies.
Why are you here?
Yeah, that'll justify the metallics not attacking the players.
Right.
And so then talk.
And if no one in your group speaks Draconian, well, good luck.
If you have a warlock, take the invocation, read everything.
Or, the spell comprehend languages.
Or that. Okay, we have a tie-in now. And this sounds way better.
I like it.
We don't have much to add because we already have an established, like, Shadow War.
Right. We jumped around a lot, so maybe we should recap a little bit.
Okay, so they find Guy. Guy, as Pappy's attic or whatever, had this map.
Yes.
It's written in Draconic.
Guy goes with them.
Yes, okay, we'll have Guy go with them.
What class do you want to say Guy is?
Fighter.
That fits. Fighter who uses farm implements. He fights with a hoe.
We haven't said what his profession is.
You always said like farmer.
I was just saying a hick.
I'm thinking farmer.
Okay. I mean, farmers would have a wood axe, and that's a hand axe or a battle axe stats, whatever.
Yeah.
It's his Pappy's axe. Goes with them. They go see through whatever long journey and all that stuff.
Yeah, them.
They had to
all around the map
at first, like find the starting point because it's not gonna be that house, obviously, or that town.
You can give them riddles or a dotted line, whatever you want to do,
or just vague descriptions about landmarks.
Oh, yeah, that's always fun.
You have to see, like, be in that position and then see the landmark it's talked about, and then go in there, kind of thing.
Yeah.
They eventually get there. And then depending on if they're already a part of the Shadow War or not, then that happens. Sadly, we're not going to make the dungeon for you. We never do.
No. Feel free to look online and find a really neat dungeon to use or make up your own and let us know what that looks like.
But, okay, we never decided, like, what the talisman was for the Party Starters episode.
No.
Do you want to pick one of the Jackie Chan talismans for this one, or just say, hey, DM's choice, because we don't know what they've already selected or they've already got a hold of?
Yeah, I think it would be DM's choice on this one because you don't know where they are, if they're already in that storyline or if they're just entering it.
Okay.
And sometimes it's fun just to be able to pick your own thing.
So I think the only thing that we can add now is, what is Guy's reaction
when he finds out what's going on?
Yeah, like the only treasure is the talisman.
Yeah.
In which then it's going to be taken by the metallic dragonborn.
Right.
So is he like, will he be mad about like, hey, no, that's mine. It's my Pappy's.
Yeah, he
so
might
I
try.
Inherit this because
he might
it's
try
his
to be
treasure.
like, no, this is my talisman. It's my Pappy's map led right to it. That means it's mine. So if you're gonna take it, you're taking me too.
Or would where the party has to attack him? What happens if like he attacks the dragonborn?
I mean, he might not know about the war going on.
It'll be a very easy way just to get rid of him.
It would be.
And then the dragonborn kill him, and then it's like, you're with him, and then the party has to talk their way out of it because now it makes it a little bit more tense.
Or he can say, you can have the talisman, but I'm coming with it because it's technically mine, so I'm going where it goes. So he's just there with the talisman. He's always got it. They have the talisman, but they also have Guy.
But the goal of it is to actually like lock it away, or
yeah,
if I remember correctly, Yeah, we never said destroy. It was just lock it away and
Hide them, basically.
It was going to all go towards like a golden, like ancient golden dragon or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, okay. I think it depends on if your party likes Guy.
Right.
Through the travels, if you want to give them a good enough personality that the players like them, then yeah, you could do that.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't care, you can either kill him or the Dragonborn pays him off. And he's like, that's fair.
Right.
That's compensation.
Honestly, I think he would take the money.
And then the players would be like,
farm.
we get half. Where's our fair share?
Oh, yeah, they totally would. Be like, hey, we brought you here. We protected you this whole time.
You promised a fair share.
Right.
And that is the treasure because you just sold it.
Mm-hmm.
So where's our fair share? Okay, I guess we don't really have anything else to add. We just added to our cinematic universe.
Yep, one of them. Eventually, we'll connect them all.
I doubt it. But okay, I guess if you put this in your campaign, let us know if you actually attached it to the other Party Starters episode. If you started that campaign, this is a great one for you to add in as well.
Yeah.
If you tweaked it so that it's not about the shadow war between two Dragonborn lineages, let us know what you changed and we'll see if you are better than us. Most likely, but yes. But anyways, you can let us know down in the comments of this YouTube video, on X at QuestboardPod, or on Blue Sky at Questboard. If you have a job posting of your own that you want us to make a quest out of, hopefully, I mean, this one was all right.
I liked it.
It's better than most, not as good as some though.
Yeah.
Yeah, just let us know on any of those sites. And with that, I wish you all a good night.
And happy questing.